Nā mai, hari mai, piki mai, kaki mai. Welcome into Wellington. Settle back. Enjoy this one, because this, ladies and gentlemen, is the final of the New Zealand Secondary Schools Waterpolo Championship between defending champions Hamilton Boys High and last year's runner-up Rangitoto. Yes, a repeat of 12 months ago. Joining me in commentary, Brad Hudson. Brad, we've just seen an upset in the women's final. Rangitoto girls beating the powerhouse that is, and probably always will be, Diocesan. Can Rangitoto boys topple the might of Hamilton this afternoon?
Well, they did it yesterday, Mark. They bet Hamilton 6-3, and that put them into a tricky semi-final against Tauranga Boys High School that won the North Island competition a month ago. And Hamilton, well, they came out firing in the second quarter. It was 2-2 in the first. They won the second quarter 4-0, and Tauranga did not have any answers to their dynamite power. So Hamilton, a strong team as we look at this roster here.
Yeah, interesting. Sharif Honzi in goal. He's Egyptian, and he wants to go and play for Egypt.
Yep.
You look at Sam Kitely there, number 6. Boy, a big reputation he brings. In fact, depth throughout that Hamilton Boys High School side.
Exactly. Look for these Kitely boys, Mitchell and Samuel. Samuel in particular, 4 tournament goals. It was outstanding last night, marshalling the attack from the top. And his brother as well. Just watch out for him as well. He's had 10 tournament goals, and he always likes to play point and also at the top of a 6-on-5. So really look out for Mitchell. Just a real powerhouse.
Right, let's run through this team for Rangitoto College, looking to try and emulate what the girls have just done. And the likes of Guy Grantham there, Thomas Arms, Michael Rogers, again, a team that is just full of youthful exuberance and experience, a combination that has seen them become one of the great schools in this sport.
Look for 6 and 7, Luke Blackburn and Oliver Pritchard. Blackburn in particular, he's a strong hole set, very powerful, manages to get a lot of exclusions for his side. And Oliver Pritchard, a left-hander. Left-handers in water polo, Mark, are so vital. They're so hard to get, but if you get a left-hander, it's gold.
So, both schools, alumni, wherever you are around the country watching this broadcast, settle back, get yourselves on the edge of your seats, because if it's anything like last year's final, this is going to be a classic. Hamilton winning that final last year really in the last 15 seconds in one of the great secondary school finals. And I've got a sneaky feeling this will not be much different. Really early on, it is an opportunity for both teams to gain a little bit of an understanding of the offensive and defensive setups. And we've got the best referees in the game, in action, poolside today.
We certainly do. We've got John Waldo. He is representing New Zealand at the Olympic Games in water polo. And also on the other side, Michael Brooks, based in Tauranga, but has refereed at World Champs representing New Zealand as well. So we've got 2 expert referees on for this stunning final.
So 4 quarters of 6 minutes.
John Waldo on his left, underneath his left palm, has the Olympic rings on there, mate.
Yeah, no, well done. I mean, look, it is. It's about getting to the Olympic Games, whether you're an athlete, whether you're official. Look, I've been lucky enough to go as a commentator, and it's the pinnacle of, outside of family, it's the pinnacle of anything I've ever done. And you've got to have aspiration, don't you? And, we say this final here, there'll be some athletes today, this will be the highest they'll probably go to in water polo, and it'll be their great achievement. And for others, it'll be a stepping stone, and hopefully on to national, and then at some point in the future, a men's team at the Olympic Games. We are underway for the swim-off. Rangitoto in the blue cap, Michael Rogers in number 4. And it is Rangitoto who come away with possession early on. And they'll try and take control through Caden Brown, number 11 for Rangitoto. And again, nice little press defence at times coming here from Hamilton. They look for the early little entry pass, do they? Rangitoto, good defence, turnover. Hamilton will come away with it through Sharif Honsni.
Good crashing defence by Hamilton on Blackburn in the centre forward position.
And number 10 for Hamilton boys is Elijah Singleton. to throw the ball away, get play back underway at the top of the perimeter, looking for that little lengthy pass early. Shoulder goes in. What have they called? Called a goal, have they?
No, it's they got the ejection.
My apologies.
It was an exclusion, but then there was a matter of offence, and they got a turnover ball. So
turnover ball, good pressure. So Rangitoto. But just look at this Hamilton defence. No panic at all. No movement. No real options here. Oh, shot comes when I said there was no options, and suddenly, from nowhere, Rangitoto pull the trigger. But how good was Sharif Hosni, who just came off his line, shut down the space. But great attacking opportunity there from Luke Blackburn for Rangitoto.
Great pass in from Thomas Armours, a member of the New Zealand under-18 squad. Year 13, that's a great pass from that position on attack.
So just an opportunity for these players to just get rid of the nerves, get a bit of a feel for this game. And the shot comes, and it will be Hamilton boys who score first. Really from nowhere, from range, from distance. Go back. Just have a look here, because Rangitoto just managed to break away. Elijah Singleton for Hamilton boys pulls the trigger, and just like that, the defending champions go 1-0 up. How fortunes can change. Rangitoto through number 4, which is Michael Rogers. Goes back across the pool. Rogers. He looks to pull the trigger, but the big mitt of Sharif Hosni comes out, but they will get the corner.
Interesting to see how Rangitoto play this game. They were out to an early lead over Palmerston North, but then they only just managed to win. They only scored 2 goals in the last 2 quarters, so fitness will be a big test for them today. So that's a fantastic goal there for Rangitoto, and that's Michael Rogers.
Yeah, we talked about Michael Rogers, how good he is, but that's the other thing that you can't underestimate too, just how physically demanding the sport is. You've played for a couple of days, you've had some hard games, semi-finals last night. It's about recovery, isn't it? And fitness is not necessarily how you do a certain game or a certain session, it's how you recover and how you can back it up the next day, and that will be a key factor here. So 1-1, Hamilton Rangitoto, repeat of last year's final. This is the New Zealand Secondary Schools gold medal match. Hamilton boys last year becoming the first school outside of Auckland to win the title, and now they have another shot. A great piece of goalkeeping this time from Boston Frost for Rangitoto. So Frost, that'll be a nice little nerve settler for him. I've got a feeling this is going to be close. This is going to come down to moments, isn't it? And maybe just a little moment of individual brilliance. That ability, great leg drive. All good attack here, but good pressure from Hamilton. They turn possession over. So Karma Morton and the number 10 cap for Hamilton goes long down the left-hand side. Happy to just take their time. Caden Brown, my apologies, Christian Lee Pogai for Hamilton, and it was Elijah Singleton earlier. Oh, again, great defence and good pressure being applied by Rangitoto.
Interesting tactic there by Hamilton. The wing on the far side, driving in front of the whole man, trying to bring the defenders in, so the player with the ball at the top to shoot the goal.
So Brad Hudson alongside of me, bringing you all the expert comments. So number 7 for Hamilton is Miles Julian. Here's a wee look. Oh, look to go down the middle, look for their big centre forward. Oh, great piece of goalkeeping this time from Boston Frost, but good water polo all around. Great scoring opportunity there from Christian Lee Pogai.
What's good about water polo, Mark, particularly boys water polo, a lot of these guys will use this as good fitness for the upcoming rugby season.
Yeah, or Hamilton boys, we know what a powerhouse they are in rugby, recently just having won the Māori Cup in rowing as well, so they certainly are one of the great secondary schools when it comes to sport. I'd love to see if they can go back-to-back and defend this title they won last year in dramatic fashion. Vahiti Teokote White, their coach, Very, very good coach indeed. So number 7 for Hamilton boys is Miles Julian. Oh, lovely entry pass, couldn't quite capture it though, and now the defence gets back, scrambling defence from Rangitoto, but Hamilton still have possession. And the shot comes a little bit hopeful, but in the finish, a great effort, and they will get the corner. So the deflection. Just cannot emphasise how hard that is to get that sort of height, that much power out of the legs, to get your hips up, to get the height, to get the trajectory and the angle. Think about a 6'6" fast bowler. That's what these guys are trying to mimic, aren't they?
Hugo Barber there, just under so much pressure, managed to get that ball out. He wasn't even looking, he got it out to his player safely. What a strength in the young man.
And you forget they're only secondary school kids. Remarkable talent on display from both schools. Number 11 for Rangitoto, Caden Brown, takes the ball away, looking to drive himself up through the middle. He's got number 5, Thomas Arms, out to his left. Decides to go down the middle. Lovely entry pass. Can they turn it into points? They can't. The manhandle. Did the exclusion come? No, just the minor foul. So no man up at the moment for Rangitoto. Tightly fought contest, lovely little thing, but Hamilton pick it off. They read it well. Good defence coming from Oliver Ingram.
Switching up the drop on the wings too, this time coming on the grandstand side of the pool, the wing dropping back for Hamilton.
So we do have the exclusion, so suddenly it'll be Hamilton Boys High will have the advantage, but that is the end of the first quarter. And as expected, there is nothing in it. Both sides defensively magnificent. It's tough physically. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on off the ball. But that's why these two schools are in this gold medal game. Go inside the camps of both teams. What's the message to Hamilton Boys High School here, Brad Hudson?
Hamilton Boys High School.
Rangitoto, in fact, on picture.
Let's do Rangitoto first. Rangitoto is just to keep mixing around, doing very similar to their women's side, mixing around their defence, but really trying to just protect that ball. When we think about Hamilton, of course, Hamilton Boys High School, what they're going to be trying to do, Mark, is they're going to try and bring on more physicality. This is where, when you practice scrimmaging at training, now it's like wrestling but in the water. That teaches you how to wrestle and get around your opponent. And so you're seeing that there with Hamilton, particularly on their defence. They're really missing up to Rangitoto.
I'd like them just to zoom in and see if we can see maybe just a few fingernail marks.
Yeah. You have to cut them before the tournament.
Yeah, cut them before the tournament. Okay, yeah. So lovely shot there of Hamilton Boys High School. Number 5, Pote Arima. That's the Māori pronunciation. And number 5 for Hamilton Boys High School is Hunter Reid. Good crowd in too. A lot of the other schools that have competed in this competition hang around for this final. It's a lovely venue.
One of the best pools in the country, this one, particularly for finals action in water polo. Great grandstand, particularly from our commentary position, you just get the perfect view over the pool.
So, Mimanya Rajan is the coach for Rangitoto College.
Michael Brooks this side for the second quarter. Interesting here, Rangitoto member are a man up. They win the swim off, they will have the 6-on-5. If Rangitoto win the swim off, they get their man back from the exclusion box.
Great explanation. So we go number 12 for Hamilton Boys High School. Don't have, do you have a number? Yep, so Joshua Edwards for Hamilton, swimming off. And then number 10 for Rangitoto is Karma Morton.
And Rangitoto back to a full complement of players.
And there is the player coming from the exclusion. Now, what are the referees calling here?
Well, it looks like, though, that the clock didn't actually start on time, the main shot clock. So, and they're going to have to, potentially, they're just going to continue playing from that time.
Just a technical thing. Common sense will prevail. Doesn't affect the outcome of the game. So, now we've got Caden Brown for Rangitoto. Good defence coming from him from his opposite number in Christian Lee Pogai. Now Rangitoto, I've got plenty of height, great block, big mitt coming out from Christian Lee Pogai from Hamilton Boys High. Intriguing game, boy, nothing in it at the moment. It is the purest game because both sides are just superb on defence, not really leaving the door ajar at any point. Can Hamilton boys take the chance here? Little entry pass, doesn't quite go to plan and too easy. Rangitoto pick it off defensively. And so, Boston Frost in goal for Rangitoto. Good press defence coming here from Hamilton, really getting up in the face of Rangitoto, not really allowing them to come forward. And so, shot clock pressure comes, however. Pick up the minor foul. In fact, it will be an exclusion, so Rangitoto have the overlap at the moment. And the shot comes, and there it is, superb from Rangitoto College. They had the overlap, they had the one-man advantage, and they stepped up. Oliver Pritchard with the goal, but look at the work here being done by Rangitoto. This is simply superb from Thomas Arms. He looks across, he just sees it open there. How often have they practiced that? But to execute it in the final of a New Zealand secondary schools is another thing. And so now,
just great passing, excellent skill. That's all those dry passes, having to make sure you have 20 dry passes and make it 50, so the practice is paying off.
So 2-1 Rangitoto over Hamilton. 4 minutes remain in the second quarter. Great atmosphere. Rangitoto just happy to hold possession at the moment. Look for opportunities, see if they can break this Hamilton boys high school defence down. But good defence coming from Hamilton. Rangitoto through Kobe Newt, and they do turn it over. So going up the left-hand side is Miles Julian for Hamilton boys. Does he go himself? Does he look for a teammate? He does. He looks to switch play. They're open on that side. Nice piece of goalkeeping coming though from Boston Frost. He got across on that left-hand side, shut the door there, shut that angle down. But Hamilton boys will get possession back. It will be a corner.
That's a block with power. And that ball being sky high. Hamilton boys still with the position.
You really do want to just try and score here. Match Rangitoto. They get high out of the water. Lovely little egg beater kick there again. The shot does come and goes wide. Wow, what an opportunity for Hamilton. But again, you've got to say the pressure being applied by Rangitoto. Kobe Newton there just doing a lot of really good work on his opposition number.
And another 2 metre for Hamilton, so Rangitoto defence up to the task. As we just have time off here as the...
Just get you to explain the 2 metre.
The 2 metre, so that's just the rebound off the goalie. We just have a bit of time off here because the goal judge has run out of spare water polo balls. And just in case there's another 2 metre, we don't want to have all of them stuck there. And there we go.
Oh, good turnover now. So it is Rangitoto who are just maybe winning this game, winning the psychological battle at the moment. Just, you know, if you want to win the war, you've got to win those little battles. And we are seeing that. I've just got to say, Oliver Pritchard, number 7, is taking control of this game for Rangitoto as well. He is in everything at the moment. Kobe Newt, the little entry pass. They try it again this time. The defence read a play beautifully. Exclusion comes though for Hamilton. They won't be too concerned by that.
And this will be a 5 metre. Good pass from in the wing onto the man on the post.
Okay, so the penalty has been awarded. My apologies.
And that was a great jump by the Rangitoto player. And Hosney with a fantastic save. When a goalkeeper saves a penalty, it's brilliant.
And I tell you what, I love the emotion being shown there by Sharif Hosney. Get into the heads of them. Don't be afraid to let them know. Yeah, you think you're good. I'm just up to it. Play the game. Let's have the psychological warfare going on. Wonderful combative sport. And now Hamilton They got themselves out of jail down that far end. Can they now turn this into a 2-point play? They can't. What I mean by a 2-point play, save the penalty and then score at the other end.
Great defence there by Rangi Toto on the Hamilton player looking to turn. They kept their arms up and the Christian player came back to steal the ball.
They're just so well organised. They just, you know, instinctively just know where they need to be, and they've got great peripheral vision. Now Hamilton, though, saying, look, we're good too. Just look how physical it's starting to become. Great little entry pass. Rangitoto with the shot. Brilliant piece of goalkeeping once again from Sharif Hosni. And I love the attitude. And Hosni goes long. Chance here. Oh, put that down to Hosni if they score here. The shot's not strong enough, though. Wow. How much will that cost them in the end of the game?
They tried to scoop it under his arms, but it hit the wave of the water as we see the Celtics replay. And the goalkeeper just got his arm onto it just in time.
Such a quality player, Joshua Edwards. He's been so good. Just, again, you've really just got to put that down to Boston Frost and goal. Intriguing contest. Boy, no team giving an inch. It's not flowing. It's not high goal scoring. This is just an absolute battle. Oh, look at that fake. That's what is so unique about this sport. You're not expecting that. People say, what do you like about water polo? I simply say expecting the unexpected.
It's very much like cricket. You never know what's going to happen. And you're seeing a whole variety of tactics and plays. But the shooting, there are different styles of shooting here. And you're just seeing absolute power in some of these shots this afternoon.
Some big boys, and a lovely little entry pass, but well read by Rangitoto. They get it out of there quickly, go straight back to Boston Frost, happy to slow the clock down. So just 15 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Coming up to half-time, it is Rangitoto leading the defending champions, Hamilton Boys High School, 2-1. Both these schools were last year's finalists. And now looking to drive Rangitoto. Wouldn't they love the chance? Oh, how good. How good has Sharif Hosni been in goal? Pulls out another big save. And what I like about him is how animated he is.
Oh, he's just full of character, is Hosni, and he's the reason why Hamilton are still in this game. It's 2-1, and it's half-time. This game's going to go either way. It's just simply going to come down to who takes that special moment.
Yeah, no team has really taken control. I mean, if you were to ask me, I might go 52% maybe in favour of Rangitoto at the moment.
Yeah.
But we also know, and you've done a lot of rugby commentary, how quickly a game can change its momentum. Sometimes a side that comes in with a bigger reputation, who maybe doesn't necessarily put it out in the second half, you know it's going to come at some point.
It's going to come at some point when that pressure dial turns up. That's where those magic moments happen. You see that in rugby, sometimes with an intercept pass in water polo. It might be just that intercept of a pass and they get on the counter-attack and score. Those little things can matter, particularly in grand finals.
Potai Onu, number 6 for Hamilton Boys High School there. Samuel Kitely. Potai Waru for Rangitoto. Number 8 is Luca Misur. Potai Tahi for Hamilton Boys High School is their goalkeeper, Sharif Hosni.
Been played at good spirits this final too. It's been physical, and it's been played with a lot of passion.
Oh, I can't believe how physical it is, but just the athleticism. And I guarantee all the other schools will be having a favourite school of these two. Auckland schools are probably back in the Auckland, and everybody else outside of Auckland going, go Hamilton!
I remember when I ran the water polo at St Pat's Town for 6 years, and we got to the semi-finals here at this same pool, same tournament. We lost on penalties, but most of the crowd was cheering us on.
Potai Fitu, cap number 7 for Rangitoto. Oliver Pritchard asking the crowd here to stand, give them some noise. Let's create an atmosphere. So lovely little swim off now coming between Hamilton Boys High, Miles Julian and the number 7 cap. And immediately Hamilton Boys come away with it through Christian Lee Pogai. Goes back to Elijah Singleton in the number 10 cap. And the shot does come and they score from nowhere. And he looks to the crowd and he says, lift me. A moment of individual brilliance coming from Joshua Edwards. He drove, went straight down the lane, looked to pass, and then just said, you know what? I can see the door open, I'm going to walk through it. And just like that, we're tied up at 2. How important those first 2 minutes in this third period.
That's a very important mark, and what's more motivating, that's what they call a bar down. Hits the top bar and bounces into the goal.
And now they try and repeat it at the other end. But Hamilton boys, Egyptian prince, the Egyptian king, Sharif Hosni, gets a mid out. And now the crowd not liking the call. The crowd not liking the call. They stand here in Wellington.
It's another 5-metre penalty. And another opportunity here
and
for
now
Hamilton boys.
You talk about a momentum shift. We said it at half-time. Hamilton come in as the defending champions, therefore the favourites. And they do now take the lead for the first time, 3-2. Rangitoto need to now readjust their thinking, maintain their composure. As Christian Lee Polgai makes it look easy.
As we said in the girls broadcast, the third quarter is often seen as the championship quarter. And Hamilton, two quick goals, and they're ahead 3-2.
Yep, now and look at this, look at the defence here. Just good zone defence. Shot comes though, boy, anything they can do, we can do. And look at the emotion on Luke Blackburn. He just gets that egg beater kick going, gets the hips high out of the water, and just the velocity on that. Look at this, great athleticism. That is brilliant. He just threads the needle, and suddenly it is tied back up at 3 each.
Good flick there too as well, allowing the spin to make it curve into that goal. Fantastic shot.
Well, you know, the best thing you can do when you suddenly feel like you've lost some momentum, take it straight back. You still cannot pick this final. Last year it came down to literally the last 15 seconds and Hamilton grabbed it. Will we see a repeat of last year?
6-on-5 opportunity here for Rangitoto College.
Rangitoto, they bring their centre forwards forward. Continue to play the perimeter. Now the shot goes. He pulls it up off the upright and they get themselves out of jail once again, Hamilton. You talk about small percentages. That is a classic example of it. Wow, just inches separating that from a 4-3 lead.
And that crossbar just got in the way just in time.
Continue to go. Here we go, Hamilton boys now. Does he push down that right side? No, good defence. Getting up in the face there. Caden Brown saying, hey, happy to dish it out. Number 9, Joshua Edwards, though. He understands the game. And so, good defence coming here. Oh, the door's open. Great piece of goalkeeping. The whistle had gone, though. What is the call?
Referee John Waldo's just pulling the ball out. And I believe we have an issue with the main clock again. The shot clock wasn't running.
All
but it appears that they're just going to play on.
Okay.
There was only a matter of time left.
So it'll be Boston Frost who gets play back underway for Rangitoto. The Battle of the Bombays. Hamilton versus Rangitoto. The top of the perimeter, good press defence coming here from Hamilton. The problem is you can open yourself up in the middle there, and we almost saw them get through. Good positional play from Rangitoto.
Excellent legs there by Blackburn, nearly scooped it in.
Oh, this is good. Both ends of the pool now. Fascinating. Great piece of goalkeeping too. Good experience there being by Boston Frost. He didn't panic. The Rangitoto goalkeep. 3-3. Pressure at the perimeter at the top of the circle. You can visualise the circle like in basketball. It's really a combination, isn't it, between basketball and football in terms of the positional wings, forwards. We're talking about zone defence, setting up screens.
Yeah, throw a bit of rugby in there too.
No, that happens under the water. Olivia Pritchard, number 7 for Rangitoto. Number 11 there is Christian Lee Pogai for Hamilton. across the lane, dropped a lovely little entry pass. Oh, I do like the way now, just starting to get a little bit of niggle here. What's the referee call?
So both players have been excluded for being a bit too rough in the field of play. So for this period of attack, we're going to have 5 from each team in the water.
Yep, so exclusion in Te Reo is Aukati and Māori. We call it the naughty chair. Yeah, lovely to have Caltex on board too.
And stream strop during this broadcast, absolutely outstanding as we have a timeout here. Great pictures we've had today, Mark.
Yeah, no, really well done too. It helps too that the director and the producer happens to be a Rangitoto old boy. He's jumping up and down when they're scoring, and I'm saying, hey, in this commentary game, guys, we've got to be neutral. We've got to be neutral.
He's hoping 2 from 2.
Mind you, in a couple of weeks' time, I've got to call a Centennial Mount Albert Grammar game, Mount Albert Grammar School versus Auckland Grammar, rugby game, Centennial game for Mags, Mount Albert Grammar Centennial, and same production team for that.
Yeah.
But,
who are they playing in that game?
Auckland Grammar School.
Oh, what a contest.
Yeah, 2 most successful 1A teams in Auckland. But it's all about Waterpolo at the moment. We digress. Hamilton leading, well, not leading, in fact, Hamilton 3, Rangitoto 3. We saw Hamilton come out at the start of this third quarter and hit Rangitoto hard, and there was a momentum shift. But Rangitoto did the best thing you can do, not panic and score quickly.
And they're just slowing it down to the way they want it to be played. Yeah, that first 2 minutes was Hamilton striking back, but Rangitoto have managed to crawl it back, and they're slowing it down to their game. Okay, they have the timeout just finishing here. Let's see what move they're going to pull out.
Okay, so we are back underway here. Lovely little entry pass. They turn, they shoot. Oh, superb defence. Superb defence from Hamilton, and the crowd lifts. Wow. How big was that moment? How big was that play? Rangitoto retained possession. But what a key moment.
That travelled 25 metres.
You talk about the velocity on that, just trying to pick the player who took most of that. Just be their number 9 for Hamilton, was it? Possibly Joshua Edwards.
He won't feel it now, but after the game, he'll be feeling that after that.
Just go back here and have a look at the replay. Don't underestimate just how difficult that is. There we go. Oh, got the big mid out. Now Rangitoto, Hamilton, in fact, trying to see if they can take the lead. Another good shot, another good piece of goalkeeping from Boston Frost. Good pressure, good press defence. A chance here. They'll open up through the middle if they can just find a player. And now the chance here. Going to need to go quickly though, because the defence is scrambling. Options both left and right. And the shot does come wide again. Great intent.
Open door there, but just the direction was missing. But huge power again.
Edge of your seat stuff, wherever you are around the country, around the world watching this, the alumni of both schools. Hope you are enjoying the coverage. It was a classic last year.
Caden Brown with an excellent turnover there. Managed to twist around the Hamilton player and scooping the ball for another Rangitoto attack.
Oh, superb from Rangitoto. You talk about trajectory, you talk about taking the pace off the ball, the illusion, and that was just a wonderful display from Thomas Arms. Have a look at this on the replay.
Well, look at this. He's virtually underwater, his face is underwater, and he manages to scoop around both players. The physical strength of his legs, scoops it around and scores an impressive goal to give Rangitoto the lead. But an excellent assist from Caden Brown, putting that into the hole.
So 4-3, 8 seconds remain. Hamilton, well, they'll just have a bit of a Hail Mary here, will they? Rangitoto, ejection. So they've got a man up, but they've only got 3 seconds on the clock. The shot needs to come, and the hooter goes. And that'll bring us to the end of the third period. It is Rangitoto College, last year's runner-up, leading Hamilton Boys, the current defending champions, 4-3.
Hamilton Boys, if they win the swim-off, will be able to have the remaining time of 6 on 5.
if this ends up 4-3, this surely would be the lowest scoring New Zealand secondary schools final in history, wouldn't it? How many games in water polo are 1-4-3?
Not a lot at schoolboys level, because mainly these finals are high scoring.
Which shows the quality of both defensive outfits.
Correct, yeah.
Because there's been nothing wrong with the attacking prowess of both sides, but the defences have just been too good.
Oh, the defence, particularly even the girls' final as well, was just textbook, and we're seeing it from even both teams here as well. Their defence is just working tandem in line, and so both teams having to think very carefully about how they can crack that defence. And at the moment, Rangitoto seem to have that slight advantage.
Yeah, there is Potai Fitu, cap number 7 for Rangitoto, Olivia Pritchard. Just while we are here, and we do appreciate our partners, Māori Television, that Piron is the te reo, or Māori word for goal. Exclusion is Okati. Did you get many Okatis in your day?
Not many.
I don't think you'd sell me a car.
What I was well known for, Mark, in Waterpolo was winning the swim off and being on the deck wing.
No. Okay, so the crowd now gets more and more animated. Don't go away, ladies and gentlemen. We've had 18 minutes of hope, and now we're coming to 6 minutes of truth. Hamilton boys, defending champions, trailing Rangitoto 4-3. Rangitoto College looking to win the double. Their girls team just won the New Zealand Secondary Schools title. Can they win the double? A dynasty, 3 versus 7. So Kobe New up against Miles Julian, and it is Rangitoto who look to try and score early, get a 2-goal buffer, and put Hamilton under real pressure.
Rangitoto going for the 2 men inside the whole area, and Hamilton having to drop back.
Yeah, just look in front of the ball carrier at the moment. The work being done on by the defensive players on that 2-metre line in front of the goal. The shot does come. Nice piece of goalkeeping coming from the Egyptian king, Sharif Hosni. He wants to go and represent, the goalkeeper wants to go and represent Egypt. I use the word Egyptian king. Of course, Mo Salah for Liverpool up front, striker. Probably the most famous Egyptian sportsman in the world.
Great defence there again by Hamilton, keeping Rangitoto out.
Yeah. And now Hamilton have got plenty of time. Let's just have a look off the ball. Look at what Rangitoto are doing off the ball here in front of goal. The type of defence they're setting up. And the clock shot, 30 seconds, begins to run down here. And now the big shot does come. Plenty of power on there.
Good pressure on defence by Rangitoto College. Running that shot clock down and putting Hamilton under pressure.
I wouldn't want to play poker against a guy like Boston Frost, the goalkeeper for Rangitoto, because he just so calm. Oh, and now the shot comes, and for the first time, just the door just left open a little bit by Sharif Hosni. Oh, just on his right-hand side. And I tell you what, Michael Rogers just threads the needle, and suddenly Rangitoto with a 2-goal buffer, and it is game on. The pressure now well and truly on Hamilton, the defending champions.
And Michael Rogers, second for the game. He's only year 12, Mark. He's going to be back next year. What a weapon for Rangitoto.
Scary, isn't it? About those succession plans. And so, 5-3. Rangitoto, 4.5 minutes to go. Hamilton need to score, and they need to score quickly, because at some point the shot clock will come into play here, and they've picked it off. Picked it off. Nicely done. Brilliant, brilliant from Luca Masur from Rangitoto.
Rangitoto just slowing it down here. They're just using up the time that they have. 4 minutes remaining in this match.
4 minutes, 2 goals. Happy to play with width. Then the big shot comes this time, though. Sharif Hosni, who's been fantastic, too good. Counter-attack down the other end for Hamilton. Lovely piece of play. Can they capitalise here? Waiting, turn. They pivot, they shoot, but too good, Boston Frost. Always a tough one, isn't it, that decision to whether come off your line or not as a goalkeeper or to stay back. But any time it's almost a one-on-one situation, you do have to come off your line. You've got to shut those angles down. Rangitoto, though, they don't have as much pressure. Another shot comes. Good piece of defence once again from Hamilton, but they'll pick up the corner. Well, late note, Hamilton retain possession.
Hamilton just getting back in time for the ball, and now they've got a good opportunity to man up.
Yeah, they're going to take this opportunity, though, don't they? Oh, that's good Waterpolo. Just didn't quite get the power on that shot for Hamilton boys, and I think it was Joshua Edwards.
Great passing too as well. Just all that practice coming in, all those dry passes. Just unfortunate. Frost was up to the task.
Now there starts some real pressure on Hamilton. The clock is running down. Turnover. Unforced error. What do the referees say? Rangitoto possession. They can kill another 30 seconds here.
Yeah, the Hamilton boys player was swimming up, but he had his head down. He didn't quite see the ball.
Another 30 seconds, they can run it down. Do they win the double? And the shot does come. Oh, and what does the line umpire say?
No goal.
No goal. So desperation from Sharif Hosni. Well, you talk about naming New Zealand secondary schools teams. Hosni's got to be close.
Oh, he's done so well there. He's just managed to flick it back in time. Hosni, real talent.
Oh, great shot. But again, Frost is good. The battle of the two goalkeepers. Now we start to see some emotion for Frost. Minute 42. They can run the clock here.
He's so calm as well. Nothing seems to
phase
him.
No. You wouldn't know, would you? Oh, the shot does. Oh, brilliant again by both goalkeepers at each end. Just simply superb. Look at the personality of this young man. He is a rock star in the making.
Oh, he certainly is. And we have a timeout. A timeout for Hamilton.
I reckon he'd be cheeky at school, don't you?
Yeah,
cheeky? You probably would be.
Yeah.
But he didn't dare himself to everyone. You've got to have personality in sports. Great to see. So timeout. 90 seconds remain. 2 goals. And it doesn't sound a lot, but you've got to remember this final could end up being 1-5-3. Such have been the defensive efforts of both sides. Hamilton Boys High School, what is the message here now? What do they do? How do they shift momentum with 90 seconds?
That's really where it's going to be important, is the drivers managing to cut open and to make sure they can free up their whole man or their man up top to pop out to get that shot. The move, whatever the move's going to be here, Mark, it's going to have to work with a minute and a half to go.
It's so lovely to have Brad Hudson alongside of me. Hope you are enjoying the coverage. Now, 90 seconds for 13 young men from Rangitoto College to etch their name in the school record books, to be honoured and recognised on Monday morning at their school assembly. Hamilton boys equally looking to try and do the same, go back to back, create a dynasty below the Bombay Hills. They won it in dramatic fashion last year. Can they do? They really do need to be the team that scores, but the defence comes. It swarms all over Hamilton boys, and that goes the way of Rangitoto as well. So really now, 1 minute. They can run the clock down for the next 30 seconds. It should be enough, should it?
It should be enough now, Mark.
But is there a danger that you park the bus and...
There's always the danger in this last minute. Hamilton's defence have been swimming around like a pack of bees, giving Hamilton nothing in this fourth quarter, and now they have a 6-on-5.
So the exclusion, that is the danger.
As we just have the ball being asked to be given to referee John Waldo. And it's a turnover.
Okay, so is this the moment? Is this the moment? They've got to score, and then they've got to turn possession back over again in the space of 43 seconds. So there has been a slight adjustment on the clock. Rangitoto, second last year, trying to right the wrongs. Who is the best secondary school boys team in the country? They go long, driving, looking for a lane. They still retain possession. The little entry pass, can't quite get the shot away though. Exclusion comes, does it? It does. So now they've got the overlap. They need to go quickly, Hamilton. They've got less than 30 seconds. Driving. Nowhere. Rangitoto applying the pressure. The shot comes, and that might just be it. That might just be it. 19 seconds remain. The Rangitoto fans, the parents, the coaches, the teachers are on their feet. They know now that they're 10 seconds away from becoming national champions. Ladies and gentlemen, they won the women's. Stand up. They're about to be crowned New Zealand Secondary School Boys Champions. It is Rangitoto College. They are the best school in New Zealand. The perfect display, both offensively and defensively. But credit must go to Hamilton boys. The reason Rangitoto have trained so hard, made sure that they spent that extra half an hour in the pool 3 times a week, is because Hamilton boys in the last 2 years have set such a high standard. Sum that up for me, Brad Hudson.
Just simply amazing. The North Shore College of Rangitoto have put on a masterclass, not only in the girls but in this boys final. And defence, we always say defence wins games, but there must be something at Rangitoto Waterpolo because their defence, when it comes to these big occasions, is just masterclass. And what an awesome scenes here we see Rangitoto. You know, they came in here, they finished third at the North Islands. They caused the upset yesterday in the crossover, beating Hamilton, and they played Hamilton again in the final, and they've done it again. Awesome work.
Well, I think maybe some consolation for the team of Hamilton boys. There'll be a number of these kids still in this team that won it last year, so they know what it feels like to win. There'll be some that are new to the team who have finished second, but they know that they've got depth in their program. They've got a chance to win next year, haven't they? But, wow, great to see the schools outside of Auckland really putting the pressure on the traditional powerhouses like Rangitoto. Hamilton, we saw in the 3rd and 4th playoff. Tauranga are up against Palmerston North. So Waterpolo is winning this because it's now becoming a truly national sport. And the prestige that goes with winning the Waterpolo title is starting to get up there with the likes of the Māori Cup.
Exactly right, and we're now starting to see the South Island resurge in Waterpolo too. We've had 3 colleges from Christchurch as well. Christchurch boys, St Bede's, Rangiruru, who we broadcasted earlier today. So it's starting to filter down throughout the country, which is good news.
Yeah, well, wonderful for Rangitoto College. They've got the double. They've grabbed the double. And thoroughly deserved too. They train out of the Millennium Institute in Auckland, or the National Aquatic Centre. One of the largest schools in the country. Auckland's North Shore in more recent times has also become a powerhouse for basketball. Rosmini College, particularly Rangitoto, another one. Westlake boys, Westlake girls.
Big school, over 3,000 students there.
Yep.
Amazing. Jubilant scenes, just amazing. And look at the people in the crowd too. They've seen 2 fantastic finals.
Well, it is now an opportunity, isn't it, for family and friends. This is a really, really big deal at school, you know, winning a national title. You know, schools don't win a lot of them. I mean, it's very hard to have domination. It's very hard to have a succession plan. You know, kids come and go, and you hope that the next wave coming through can reach the same heights and standards. But what we are seeing now, and I think it's great, we're seeing schools now investing more in the coaching side of it.
Correct.
Saying, hey, let's get our coaches in. Let's give these kids every chance we can give them, so that if sport wants to be a pathway for them, it can. But we all know too, it's always a great lesson in life. But I'll say this to Hamilton. I'll say this to even what we saw earlier with Diocesan. They might not always realise it right now, but sometimes you have to learn how to lose before you can learn how to win.
Correct.
You know, I'll say this: adversity is your friend, long term in life.
Exactly. You always learn from those moments, and you become better from them. And when these young men, when they go on and play senior water polo or any other sport matter, they'll learn from these moments.
Well, let's just go back and have a look at a few of the highlights.
Well, let's have a look at this, one of the 5 metres here, and that's an excellent work there. One of the early goals in the competition of this final. Here's the Rangitoto goal. This one here, this is one of the shots of the final. Look at this, excellent work, and it's from Thomas Arms, and he just curves it into that top corner. And yet again, here's another one from Rangitoto on their counter-attack. Excellent pass in, and head underwater, and he just manages to get it over Hosny's head and straight into the goal. just the physicality of these young men. They really work hard, regular doing lots of leg drills, having to lift weights in the water.
Oh, look, I've been heavily involved in triathlon, Ironman, and you know, and I'm often asked what is the hardest sport, and I still say purely in terms of just application and time is swimming.
Yeah.
But clearly, swimming then moves into the water polo side of it. So we just haven't seen a remarkable secondary schools final. We've actually seen arguably one of the toughest sports being contested down here in Wellington. And look, just want to wrap it up. Congratulations must go to Rangitoto College, both on the men's, or on the girls and the boys side of it. Condolences going to Hamilton boys, diocesan, but both schools have been so good that they've forced everyone else to lift their standards. This is the silverware, memories for life. And again, the thing that I've already touched on, the thing that impresses me the most is the fact that we've just got more and more schools right across the country lifting their level and developing depth.
Exactly right, and we're also seeing a record number at the Div 2 Nationals as well, so good to see water polo growing across Aotearoa.
Well, on behalf of myself and Brad Hudson, and special thanks to Māori Television, to the Stream Shop, Caltex, it's been an absolute privilege and a pleasure. The final of the New Zealand Secondary Schools water polo on the boys' side is Rangitoto 5, Hamilton Boys High School 3. They'll be dancing in the streets of Auckland's North Shore.